Hey guys, and welcome back to Well That's Creepy. We are talking this week about UFOs and aliens and creepy shit like that.
All types of stuff. Area 51, Roswell.
That's
More than like a lot
wow.
of government conspiracies. There's always a bunch of those.
Yeah, definitely.
They can do some shady shit.
Yeah, like there's stuff they're not telling us. I mean, my
Yeah,
God, it's insane.
But
I
what
mean,
would you like to start on?
Okay, when we talk about aliens, though, I mean, I don't think of aliens as like little green men, though. I mean, but they could be. I don't know, but that's not what comes to mind. I mean, I honestly feel like they are way ahead of us.
I'm really big into space.
Obviously.
I'm wearing a NASA shirt.
You put me to sleep.
And I'm not saying that I believe
space.
that aliens come down and abduct people and suck them up into their ship. I'm not saying that hadn't happened, but I'm not saying that's what I think happens either. But out of the universe, it's huge. You know, like billions of exoplanets out there. So there's got to be some sort of life out there. Well, whether they're millions of years more advanced than us, who knows?
Well, we can't be the only ones, though, and that's the thing. Because I mean, look at how tiny we are compared to the universe. I mean,
We're a speck of dust.
I don't know a lot about the universe, but you guys don't understand. For it'll be 21 years next month we've been together. For 21 years, this man has put me to sleep at night, telling me stories about space and the universe. So, a lot of it is sunk in, but I mean, if you guys look at it seriously, even if you just look at our solar system, there's no way we're the only ones. That we're the only intelligent life. It's just impossible.
Well, I mean, in our solar system, maybe, yeah.
I mean,
in our galaxy.
But you get that concept.
Yeah, well, in our galaxy,
I
mean, this is a good example. Say you got the Empire State Building, right?
Okay.
And our galaxy is the Empire State Building. A little tiny speck of little dust on the side of that would be our solar system.
Right, and see, that's the shit that freaks me out. Like, it just blows my mind too much.
Yeah, there's billions of specks of dust all over that building that are other stars, exoplanets, moons, you know, whatever. Now, every other building in the city would be galaxies with millions of little specks of dust all over them, billions of specks of dust, you know, and it's hard to believe that we would be the only living things out there.
Right, and that's what, like, I mean,
you know,
it blows my mind to think back. Okay, so like every time I start thinking about space and stuff, I take it back to 8th grade chemistry class, and we were talking about the atoms and breaking everything down, and that part just blew my mind about, you know, the atoms and the things that how we're made up. But if you put that theory into thinking of the universe, and then you think of a tiny ass atom that we know of, I mean, that's just fucking mind blowing.
That's another thing. You brought up a great point. That's another thing is what makes anyone say for sure that if there were aliens out there, that their mothership's going to be the size of Manhattan or the size of the United States or whatever. Like, they could be microscopic aliens. You know, it could be a microscopic city they live in with little microscopic spaceships. Who the hell knows what it is? You know, who knows what's out there?
Just like creepy just to think about that too.
And imagine, I mean,
wow.
And if there is a lot of UFO sightings in the world, whether any of them, you know, hold any weight or not, I have no idea. But if there are aliens coming here, they have got to be way more advanced than we are.
Right. And
by far.
So that's the thing. You just mentioned like all these sightings and stuff like that, you know, and the abductions and stuff like that. 90% of those stories are pretty much identical, like outline. They just have different, you know, different stuff happened as far as it goes, but they're all telling pretty much the same stories.
And
some of these are people that don't ever watch, you know, the news or like, you know, stuff to even know what these other people have said.
People that live in the mountains have reported that.
You know, it just makes you wonder.
Yeah, and this even dates back thousands of years ago.
Right.
I mean, the
the
hieroglyphics on the pyramids shows different UFO type things, you know? And how the hell would they build that anyways?
Okay,
it
that's
makes
my
you wonder.
Whole thing. That's
Stonehenge
exactly.
And the material rock that came from there, they say wasn't even local. It came from far away. So to carry stones that far away, I mean, that's some crazy shit.
Remember those pictures? What were those pictures that we looked at? And it had, there were some in Egypt and some in, I don't know I'm pronounce this wrong, like Cairo or whatever. Cairo, whatever, Ciaro, whatever it was. Anyway, they're old hieroglyphics and they all had like the same guy on them. but they all had the same purse on them too. Remember the bag? All these, we saw this on the thing, and they all had the same bag.
Of something about that.
But the thing is these were all dated back like years and years and years ago, like back when like when the pyramids were built time. But all of these spots were thousands of miles apart on different islands.
Yeah, there was something to do with that bag.
It was just
there was
so
something
weird
specific about that.
they all had the same symbol, but they were never intertwined. You know
if we can pull up a picture of that, we'll post it.
Yeah, I'll put the picture up there. But it's just crazy to me to think. It's just like the Easter Island and the Stonehenge.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys have ever seen this a whole little comparison, and I think it was just meant to be a meme, something funny to begin with, but it makes you think.
Yeah, we don't know 100% if it's true or not, but go ahead.
But it's just funny, it makes you think. But like Stonehenge, where it is, would be like the feet under Easter Island. That's how you pronounce it, right? Easter Island?
I think so.
I think so. With the heads, the big heads, like the little voodoo-looking thing.
Yeah, and then on the other side was the pyramids?
On the other side is Stonehenge, so it'd be like their little toes sticking out if they went all the way through the earth, which I know that sounds crazy, but it is one of those things that makes you think, like, there's just so much, know.
Another weird thing is that there's a lot of credible people reporting seeing UFOs and stuff like that. I mean, you got Air Force pilots, highly credible people, highly intelligent people, and
the government finally was like, "Hey, yep, this pilot really did see it." I mean, they quit denying it.
NASA has reported stuff,
right? And I was actually watching a feed one time.
We were both watching an ISS feed.
Yes, we were watching the ISS feed, and the ISS feed is available anytime. You can literally go to NASA.com and click on it, and you can watch the ISS feed at any point in time. It's literally live 24/7, 365. It's an amazing site too, by the way, guys. You can just see it's just beautiful to see, and you can see the curvature of the Earth because it is round. But
we'll get into that later. But
sorry, but
yeah, it's amazing.
We're watching. You see that blip. And then everything just goes out and the feed cuts. They saw something.
There
and
was
they
something
cut the feed.
coming into view, yeah.
I mean, there's a delay on it, so they had time to cut it, but it's just crazy to look back on that, They knew this shit's happening, and the government has said for years, oh, no, it's not real, just like Roswell.
Like the Roswell incident, yes. I mean, who knows they say it was a weather balloon. They say it was another type of weather experiment. It could have been a government aircraft, but they went to extreme measures to shut people up and to hide a lot of shit.
I mean, if they're willing to shoot people at Area 51 just to hide what's in there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Which, it's understandable in a way. I guess we shouldn't know exactly. I mean, you don't want every country out there knowing what the hell we have. But it'd be cool if they would tell us they had aliens.
I mean, well, and they kind of did, but, it's kind of funny. That's what's funny about when they did finally come out and tell us, we're in the middle of this pandemic, because I never said that word right, and I said it right, I'm pretty excited. But anyway, we're in the middle of this pandemic and the economic downfall, and the world's kind of going to shit right now. And then, by the way, the government's like, oh, hey, by the way, guys, we did spot this UFO, continue about your day. And nobody, really reacted the way I really thought everybody would, It was like back burner news. It's important shit. But it just kind of got pushed to the back, so.
But there are so many things out there like that.
Well, it was a year ago this week, actually, that they started that campaign to storm Area 51.
Yeah, that probably would have went over well.
People did show up to it, actually.
Yeah,
people went and showed up, and nobody, went full running for it like they were planning, but it is quite interesting, honestly. So, the Men in Black theory.
Oh, yeah. Now, is that a real thing?
I've seen multiple different things on it, and I honestly don't know if they're joking or they're being serious, but...
The obviously, Men in Black is a movie, but they think it might be an actual government
branch. They don't believe that people are actually living inside, like a human, like an alien's not actually living inside a human's body.
Not like the movie, but people that go out looking for stuff like that.
Well, they actually... And the theory kind of varies depending on what website you look at or, who you talk to, what kind of person, Anyway, the theory of it is basically that they are here. There are aliens here. There is a government agency that tracks them and knows what's going on. And there are some people who do follow this theory that believe that aliens are actually in human bodies. Which, I don't know how I feel about that yet. Show me a little more proof and I might be on board, but
I'm sure everybody watching this has probably seen something weird in the night sky that they can't explain what it is. Like maybe it didn't move how a plane should move, or different colored lights, or whatever. I'm sure people have seen some weird shit. Have you ever remember seeing anything?
The only thing I remember is you and I. Well, I mean, I remember a few little small things that.
When you were younger?
Yeah, but the big thing was you and I on our front porch that night, and the plane. Well, what we thought were planes, but there was just no way for them to be.
And many of people in our town saw that as well. My mom even saw that.
Yeah, so I knew I wasn't alone, but it was the way that they moved.
Yep.
And never broke formation.
They were orange.
Yeah.
And there was a line of them. And how many do you think there might have been?
Oh God, maybe
a dozen.
If maybe 20. I mean, there were a lot, but.
And then we see a plane.
The formation was just so weird.
You remember what the plane did that was behind them? The two planes.
I'm trying to remember.
They were like running them down. They were like,
yes, because they went. Yeah, I remember now.
One of them did like a horseshoe turn and kind of went around.
I remember this, but like they were. It was like cattle, guys. It was like you're watching a sheepdog out there trying to herd the cattle into the fence. But
amazing.
These orange lights didn't break their formation, and it wasn't just like.
And the lights were going faster than the planes were. I mean, these were propeller planes that looked like that were probably chasing, by looking at the nav lights on them flashing, looked like little small planes.
Right, and if those orange lights were all one big thing, it would have to be fucking huge, like massive, huge.
And it was pitch black, so I mean, we couldn't tell if it was one thing or not. I mean, I wouldn't think it would be, but they were in they were perfect formation.
Yeah, the formation never broke. That's what was crazy. And even your mom and stepdad saw it, and they literally saw the exact same thing.
Yeah, a lot of people we know saw it, and there was a lot of people on YouTube that actually posted, or I'm at Facebook that posted.
Right, and like the super creepy thing though is that that just gets me every time. Is that the way that it turned? Like this. Okay, so look, like my fingers are like this, guys. Okay, and it's all spread out, but it turned just perfect every time when it
turned
went
together. Yeah,
and it was a new moon out. Well, I mean, it was close to new moon, so it was dark. There were hardly any stars on the sky, but we could still see this so perfectly.
But it just blew me away. Those two planes, like one was already following them, and then the other one did like almost like a horseshoe turn, like an L to go that direction.
It really did remind me of like a sheepdog herding, a bunch of sheep.
But we never heard anything about it on the news or anything.
No, because they're not going to. I mean, they're gonna, even if they get reports, they're not gonna put it on the local news because they can't.
So. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. The whole thing to me just blows my mind.
Now, there's also been reports of like crop circles and stuff like that.
Okay, when it comes to crop circles, though, I have mixed emotions.
I'm very skeptical about crop circles.
Because we've literally watched how it's done. We've literally watched people make them.
And there's some people that make them that really put some science into it. Like they're using GPS and they're using some pretty killer, equipment to do this
and lining stuff up with like stars and stuff. That one guy went to extreme measures, but that's what makes the crop circles kind of tie in, because remember that path along, I believe it's along the west coast, the way these things hit along with pyramids or whatever, it wasn't pyramids, whatever coast it was, I don't remember, I'll have to look it up, guys, and I'll put the link in the comments, but it went like these spots where these pyramids were, and they were all lined up
with
the constellation. No. They're all lined up with constellations.
Yeah.
But that's what reminded me, because the crop circles, that one guy who did them, he lined them up perfectly with the constellation, or with the things.
That's the thing, is they say 4,000 years ago or so, the pyramids, the Egyptians, they built the pyramids according to the stars in the night sky. Well, to track that, I guess the night sky would have looked different 4,000 years ago, a little bit. So they went back and checked it, and it's like precise how accurate it is with the night sky. Plus, to build that massive thing, like it takes crazy equipment just to lift some of those blocks in today's time.
And that's why that's why I honestly believe that there was something else that built those.
You never know.
And that's what gets me to it. And you and I have started this conversation before. So what if? And if you guys think I'm crazy, if this is not like what I actually believe, it's just like a theory that I thought about, it's
we have
kind of like
of
everything. But what if, like, the aliens were here and did all this stuff? They built the pyramids, did all of that, and then they left to move on to somewhere else, and then our civilization came about. They've already been here, done that. They've took off and they're somewhere else, another planet doing shit, But that's just what's weird, because the hieroglyphics show shit like that. Like you said, they kind of show proof that there's something out there.
There is so much unexplainable in this world. It's scary.
Then it makes me think, if there are really, other life out there and they're watching us right now, are they laughing at us right now, like our planet?
You never know. I mean, the Earth's been transmitting signals for, 50 plus years, I'm sure. I mean, good, maybe 70, 80 years. I really don't know.
That one radio signal's been going on for 150 some days now or something.
Coming toward
yeah.
that, yeah, they don't know.
And then that one repeats every so many days.
That could be, like a neutron star or something, or magnetar, putting out signals. But yeah,
it's kind of weird,
there's a lot of crazy stuff. There really is.
But
sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
We were talking about sightings that we've seen, and I remember my mom and I were on the Illinois border going to Walmart, and you remember where we used to live, right on the Illinois border, and we were coming back. It was dark. It was probably 10, 11 o'clock at night. We ran to Walmart. We were coming back, and out there where we used to live was in the country, and you see nothing but cornfield and just pitch black skies with stars.
Guys, it was scary out there.
It was scary, but it was beautiful. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
Night sky was beautiful.
Still scary.
Yeah, but my mom and I saw this. We used to see weird stuff in the sky all the time. Things that move.
I'm sure you don't have the pollution of the city lights.
Yeah, there was a lot of things. In the sky flying a little weird that usually didn't have nav lights on it. Most planes had their flashing nav lights and everything, and this was just moving very weird and had no blinking lights. You heard no sound, and it was pretty quiet out there. But we pulled over on the side of the road. It just caught our attention so much. My mom actually pulled over. We got out on the country road and looked at it. Amazing. But again, you can't explain what the hell it even is.
Right. I mean,
there's no answer for it.
I guess the part that gets me is, like, all these sightings are really similar, or people see them and, like, the whole area will see them at that one point, but nobody talks about it and nobody can verify what it was. I mean, honest to God, here's the thing, guys. When stuff like that happens and everybody sees, like we saw with the orange dots, clearly that got attention. Reports were called and made. Somebody knew what it was going on in the sky, or they didn't, but if it was something legit, then somebody knew. Some airport knew, or some Air Force department, or somebody knew, but nobody told us what it really was. So then that makes me think that they didn't know what it was, or they knew what it was and it was something that they cannot tell us what it was. You know what I mean? So there's a hell of a lot more that we don't know that the government knows.
There's a lot of people that came up missing and wound up dead, vehicles off the side of the cliff or whatever, mysteriously, because they knew way too much.
Yes.
And
we covered some of that last week's episode.
Yeah. And a lot of them were some of these topics.
Yeah.
That they were talking about. So, who the hell knows?
It is crazy if you let's switch over just a second for while we're talking about the government. Look at the guy who, he's slipping my mind, but one of the co-creators of Reddit. He was literally had just opened up all of these documents and made them public. And then he
wound up,
died of suicide. He wasn't suicidal. He was literally just talking to everybody in one of the subreddits the day before. And
what was he talking?
One actually was in jail or something right before that. But it wasn't technically classified. He was giving. I'll have to go back and look. It's been years ago, guys. It was like 2014, 2009, somewhere in there. But he gave out a lot of information that they did not want out. And then he just went away. So it kind of reminds me of, everybody threatening to put these, like with Epstein. He was going to talk. He was going to talk and make a plea deal, and then he, killed himself. So, you know what I mean? It just, if the government doesn't want us to know, they're going to go to lengths to stop people from telling us anything that they don't want us to know.
Exactly.
And it's not fair. I guess it is fair, but...
Yeah, to a certain point.
I want to know.
There's a good movie, because, obviously we talk about movies on here once in a while, but a movie that I thought was really cool about a lot of this type of stuff is the movie Fire in the Sky. If you guys ever get a chance, check it out. We'll put a picture up there.
Yes,
it's
we'll put a
awesome.
picture.
I think it's like a 93, 94 movie.
Oh, I ever seen it?
I don't know.
I don't think I ever have. I
don't
think
know.
you watched it.
But it's pretty cool. They used to say it was based on a true story, but I don't know how true that is. But it's pretty good. Some parts, I mean, obviously a little far-fetched, but
right.
good entertainment.
I think my favorite when it comes to alien movies will always just be the Men in Black movies, just because they put a funny spin on it and everything.
Yeah.
But oh my God, what was that one Mel Gibson movie with aliens and Joaquin Phoenix, and he had the tinfoil hat?
Signs.
That was actually a really good movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
And it kind of creeped me out a little bit because
it was a little creepy.
it reminded me of Indiana, like because the
looks of
cornfields
it,
and the way everything looked and felt, and that just general.
It definitely had an Indiana vibe to it.
Yeah, it was a little creepy feeling, you know, a little close to home, but you know, you're talking about people missing and going missing and stuff and different things, and that does make sense, though. You know, there are people that go missing for a long time and then show back up randomly too. And that doesn't get talked about as much, you know. I mean, it does at the time, but then it just kind of goes away. But if you look at it overall, there's a lot of people that go missing for quite a bit of time and then come back and have no idea what had happened.
You know?
At all. No clue where they've been
like the
for years.
Bermuda Triangle is a big thing. Yeah, I would like to hear a lot of people's comments on this, like what they think. If they think maybe the Bermuda Triangle's aliens, or maybe it's just gas coming out from...
Yeah.
Because I also heard that it could be possibly gas coming from the ocean floor and kind of making things less buoyant, like the air gets into the gases get into the water, makes things less buoyant, gets into the air, makes things, you know, fall down.
A lot of people in
there's a lot of crazy shit.
The paranormal community, a lot of people associate that Bermuda Triangle with like a portal also. But I mean, it could really be anything, honestly, guys. We don't. But we would like to hear your feedback. So
yeah, definitely.
Shoot us a message. You can email us at that'screepy@gmail.com, or find us on Insta. But we would definitely like to know your guys' feedback on that. All of this conversation.
It'd be cool if you subscribe too.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
You know, that would be cool.
I forgot to throw that in there. That'd be totally cool.
Just if you have time, hit the button.
Yeah, just
fine,
like it, subscribe it. It'd be cool.
No, really, I really think that there's a lot to it that they're not telling us, and it's just...
You know, what do you think would happen? There's two things I really wondered. Say aliens were real and the government knew, and they just announced it. Do you think the world can handle that?
Oh, I don't believe that half of us can.
I don't think that... Look at the way things... I mean,
if
people freak out about everything.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the world is just... And
Yeah.
now's the time, I guess would be to drop the news because everybody's so focused on other stuff.
There's
and
so much stuff going on, you might as well just drop it and let it out.
you guys, the news is insane. Like, first
There's
off,
a
it's
lot
depressing.
of stuff going on in 2020. It is.
I mean,
everything is sad.
We have, I mean,
really
it's
is.
like a game of Jumanji, and we're on level 7 now, and God knows what level 8's going to bring, because next month, you know, August, we could all be fucked. I mean, what happened to the Murder Hornets, where they come here and just be like, you know what, you guys got enough shit on your plate.
That's
We'll come back
I
next
never heard
month,
anything
you know,
about
don't worry.
that. Yeah.
I mean, they're just being considerate and going to come back to us later or what,
Yeah.
but... Then we had, like, what was that thing? Zombie raccoons or something? I mean...
Zombie deer?
Zombie deer or
yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Possum or... But what the hell's going on with 2020?
It's weird, man. There's a lot of crazy...
Like
the
every
news
month
is sad,
there's something new.
Like, the news is very, very sad.
It is depressing. And
You know?
it's
like
sad.
the George Floyd thing. That never should have happened. That was horrible.
Breonna Taylor. That's, you know...
Yeah.
They didn't even knock on the door. They just walked in and shot
Yeah.
it. They just...
Wasn't there someone that died on a dock? A celebrity? On a boat? With her kid?
Oh, yes. I cannot remember her name. She was like a star of Glee. One of the stars of Glee.
Yeah.
She went overboard.
That happened recently.
Yes, that was last week. It's just so
pretty
heartbreaking in the
horrible.
news,
Yeah.
but you have to watch.
Was the kid alright?
Yeah, the 4-year-old little boy
Good.
was there, but
That's just sad.
he said his
man.
mommy went for a swim and couldn't get back on the boat, and that's
It's
just heartbreaking.
stuff like that on news all the time.
But it's really important to continue to watch news and to follow along because there's so much stuff going on in the world. But
you got to watch the news because they could say aliens are coming.
I mean, I missed it. I literally missed when they said, "Oh, hey, by the way, you know, we did actually catch this UFO on the fireplace." I missed it.
Yeah, that's
I
another.
didn't even know my kid told me.
We forgot to say that, didn't we? the fighter pilot actually got a lock on an unidentified
Yeah, the
object.
government. Yeah, that's what the government actually
And
released.
actually, I think it happened a couple times. I don't know if it was one pilot because I think it happened somewhere else also.
Yeah, I think they finally just decided to tell
But
us the truth
yeah,
about
the
that
guy,
part. But
the guy got a lock on it, and you can hear them talking, and they think it's like crazy, like humorous crazy, but they got a lock on it. It was hauling ass.
I mean,
you
could you
know?
imagine that though, being a fighter pilot and your hands are right here because that's how I fly a
And
plane.
you know what's
but,
weird?
You know, but could you imagine that you're sitting here flying your little plane and
I
then all
don't
of a
think
sudden
they
you
have a
see.
steering wheel, but yeah.
Okay, in my plane there's a little steering wheel, and I'm flying the plane.
In her plane, there's a wheel.
There's a wheel, and all of a sudden, do they really not have wheels?
No, they have sticks.
Oh man, that's so depressing.
Yoke.
But could you imagine just seeing that come up?
Stick,
you know,
Well,
that's so sad.
I'm sorry. Small airplanes have what look like steering wheels. They call them yokes, right?
I'm in a fighter pilot jet.
You got a stick.
No, I have a wheel though.
Okay,
for
you got
mine.
a wheel.
Okay, so let's back up, guys. We're restarting. So I'm in my fighter pilot plane, whatever jet, and I'm flying, and I see UFO. I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna be like, "This is not real," and I'm probably gonna laugh because I'm gonna be like, "Okay, I'm losing my shit. I'm seeing things." I just
There
wow.
was I think I watched this on Joe Rogan, I thought, but
He's
the
funny.
guy was, he's got a great show. The guy was talking about this, and he was saying that they actually took a thermal temperature of what he got locked on, and it was colder than the ocean. And the ocean at that time was 63 or 65 degrees, and it was colder than the ocean. Now, anything that would have regular propulsion, like our modern day aircraft, would have some sort of heat signature coming off
Yeah,
of it.
from the engines and stuff.
And it was colder than the surface of the ocean.
Okay, that's just creepy.
Yeah. It's wild.
Okay, so that just like proves right there, but like they don't. I don't know.
Oh, it's crazy.
Speaking of sightings, though, so if you guys have gotten a chance to check out the SpaceX satellites that went up,
Awesome.
we did. We saw them real bright, and we thought they were fucking UFOs.
We really did.
Our kid called and was like, "Mom, go outside right now. Tell Dad you guys have to go outside." So we run outside, and we're like, "What the fuck? Oh my
It
god!
was amazing.
Holy shit!"
And this
then-
when they first got up there,
yeah,
I think.
well, it was his second, or it was
Second batch of 'em,
the
yeah.
6 and 7 set that
Yeah.
he sent up, and there was like 2 sets of 30 or whatever. I mean, we were like, "What the fuck? Oh my god!" Freaking out, like calling everybody, texting everybody, taking pictures, posting on Facebook. We're trying to get the whole town to come outside and look. And then I remembered I'm reading about SpaceX sending up new satellites,
And they would be in a row, yeah.
and it's like we just remembered at the same time. Travis and I were like, "Oh," and the kids were still freaking out, thinking, "Oh
Well,
my
it
god!"
was so
you know?
exciting to see because, this is satellites that we can see, but
Right.
yet it was still kind of depressing because it wasn't UFOs.
But it just
Yeah,
reminded me of
what
the
aliens
time
are
that we
using.
saw the orange ones. You know what I mean? It was like, "Oh my god, it's happening again."
Elon Musk is an awesome dude.
Yes. Even though he did endorse Kanye for president for a little bit. Whatever.
I think
but-
Elon Musk would be a killer president.
Yeah,
He would
Elon.
be
Well,
awesome.
here's the thing with Elon. He wants to give the whole Earth free internet, and the government says no. And I get that because it's going to cut out money away from them, but he's really doing so much to help the Earth,
Yeah,
like in
he is
general.
now doing solar tiles for your roof,
Yeah.
and they were going to, he said, some people said that they were going to be actually cheaper than regular tiles for your roof.
Wow.
That's amazing. He's doing all kinds of amazing stuff. He's a cool dude.
I really think he's got.
His mission is to get to Mars.
Yeah,
That's
and
his mission.
I mean, our last launch, the last time the U.S. has, or soldiers. Oh my God, astronauts have left Earth to go to ISS. I almost called it ISIS. It's been a long day, people. But the last time that was like what, 2009, 2009. I mean, it's been
No,
a
that
while
was
since they
this-
left from American soil. But because of SpaceX, they were able to go last month.
Yeah.
And it was so
He does
cool.
amazing stuff. I mean, his goal is to get people up on Mars, and it's awesome.
I really think that he's done a lot for us, and he does stand up for what he believes, and he takes care of his people. He's worried about us, and he is just very blunt about everything.
I think he's working on artificial intelligence also.
Yeah, and that kind of scares me
That
too.
is a little scary. I mean, you never know with that stuff.
Yeah.
Self-awareness or whatever. I mean,
Yeah. Well, Dwight Schrute. You guys watch The Office?
from The Office, yeah.
Yes. Dwight has many theories on, self-awareness and technology, artificial intelligence coming to life and everything. It's quite interesting. And maybe Dwight's onto something. So I mean,
You never know.
he really could be. But it is definitely crazy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff going on, and I just don't even know. Like, I have so many mixed emotions when it comes to aliens, guys. I mean, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's crazy.
I really think it's a lot, and we want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, we
so
want to hear your comments. Definitely.
Comment below, shoot us an email at wellthat'screepy@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram at wellthats_creepy. We want to hear your guys' thoughts for real, because
I also want to know, like, I was talking about how I wonder if humans can, all of us could handle the government announcing that they know about aliens. I wonder how it would go if aliens came here. What would they do? What do you think they would do? Do you think they would attack us, kill us? Do you think they would just want to just say, hey, we came across your signals, figure we stop in?
my honest opinion, I think that they're probably more evolved, so they're more peaceful people than we are.
Probably smarter, yeah.
Right now, I don't think our country, I don't know about the rest of the world, but I do not think that America right now could handle
I don't think anybody
aliens
can.
coming.
That would change so many things. I mean, that would change probably religion. That would change everything.
Right, but I mean...
aliens. I mean, that would change everything.
You have people that are... And I'm looking for the nicest way to say this. We're in Indiana. We're around a bunch of rednecks, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
We are rednecks. I mean,
well,
in some people's eyes, and that's fine. But there are people out there who would go up and shoot them just because,
oh, yeah, definitely,
because they wanted to collect it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I guarantee you, there would definitely be people out there that would flip out and start just spraying rounds.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think that we will see them. I don't think that's why we're ready yet for them to tell us we're here.
There would be so many different groups of people with different opinions, of which that's part of it, I guess, but...
And there's
some
going to be
opinions are just very radical.
Oh yes. And they'll get deported.
Something will happen. I mean, something will happen.
But there will be people who will say they came and took over our planet, get them the hell out of here, deport them back to whatever planet they came. Because there are people that would be like that.
I think aliens could take us.
Well, yeah, they could, but there are going to be people who are going to be dumb enough to think that. I don't know. I just don't think I don't think that we as a population are ready for that yet. I mean, it'd be cool, but...
It would be cool if we at least got a signal to know that something is out there and going on, and maybe they know the mysteries of the universe. It's too bad. That's what I think would be cool to see them, is to unravel the mysteries of the universe, because they got to be so advanced. They probably know so much.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, but then there's language barriers, so we'd have to rely on like drawings and stuff. But maybe one day,
they might have
maybe one day.
You never know.
And maybe one day we'll have the technology where we can literally just, use our minds to teleport information to somebody else.
ESPN. Telekinetic.
ESPN.
Whatever.
ESPN is sports channel on TV.
ESP.
Wow. Okay.
Well,
so
better than a jet with the steering wheel.
Do not fuck with my jet. Guys, please tell him that my jet can have a steering wheel. It's fine.
It can have a steering wheel.
But that's it for this week, guys. So
we will see you next Sunday, and I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe.
It'd be cool. That was our cat.
Yeah, she just kind of did the thing, but yeah. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Bye.